Hey, what's up, y'all? Jay Helms, founder of the W2 Capitalist and co-founder of W2 Cap Capital. Chances are, if you're watching this, you are already in the mastermind or you know one of the founders here of W2 Cap Capital, and you're interested in being a borrower from our capital to help with your project. So this real quick presentation is kind of giving you an overview of the process and some of the tools we're going to be using just to help you streamline this process and get your project funded. So first couple of slides here, this is the disclaimer. The next one's going to be investment risk. This is the stuff our attorneys want you to see, make sure that's in here. I can provide the slide deck to you for you to consume. I'm not going to bore you with going through that slide or this slide. Just basically, in short, make sure you know what you're doing. And all investments have investment risk. Make sure that they fit your criteria. Here's really where I want to start. The mission of W2 Cap Capital. So members of the mastermind have spoken, and we've listened for the need to have access to quick cash to close right on their project. So we formed the W2 Cap Capital, and we're here. We're here to bridge the gap between lenders, which are investors, right, and borrowers, which is you, right? So we provide those borrowers, we provide you with short-term access to capital while providing lenders investment vehicles by way of secured first lien promissory notes, so first lien positions, right? Our investors are able to benefit from attractive rates and returns. And quite possibly, let me take a break here. Quite possibly, you watch the lender presentation. A lot of this is going to be redundant. It's more focused on the borrower aspect of it. So, borrowers are given access to this capital on a project by project and deal by deal basis, right? W2 Cap Capital. Again, we saw a need inside the W2 Capitalist community, and we've launched this lending platform for those members, right? So, here are the programs. Here we're kicking off these programs at the very beginning. We plan to add to those as we grow out this business, but most of this is focused on short-term fix and flip, bridge capital for commercial multifamilies. And you can see the different products we have here. Some of them, the interest rates are going to be dependent upon your experience as a borrower and what you bring to the table, right? So those, again, take a minute, take a screenshot of this or rewind the video and come take a screenshot of this. Those are kind of where we're kicking off. I've already had some requests about what about long-term rental programs. Those are in the works. We have some options there. So if that is you, there's going to be, I'm going to share a link with you at the end on how you can start the application process. But if you're looking for a long-term rental loan program, then go ahead and fill out the quick app as we're making connections and lenders who can provide those types of loans. We can possibly help you out. Okay, but right now this is how we're launching this with these three different programs. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go to kind of go to the next slide. Let's look at borrower timeline. What does this whole process look like? Well, to kick this thing off, we're going to get you to fill out what's called a quick app. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you, probably put in the description below, I will put in the description below the link to do that. It's w2capcapital.com. You're going to go there. You're going to click on the tab that says Start Quick App. I think it's what it says, or Start Quick Application. It takes you about 5 minutes to go through that, and that gets you into our system. That lets us know that, hey, I'm raised my hand. I've got a potential project, or I've got a deal under contract. I need to talk to you about lending, right? And what we're going to do with that, we're going to move, once the quick app is completed, we're then going to move you into the application process. Now, I've provided here like the high level things that are going to go on. In the background, there's a lot of processing and things that have to work, right? But in this is very high level. So you start the application process. We're going to provide you a term sheet, make sure we understand what's happening with your deal, all that from the quick app, right? And then we're going to move you to, hey, we like your deal. You accept the term sheet. We want you to go ahead and fill out the full application, right? Once you have fully committed the application, we're going to move you into processing. But in the meantime, we're already showcasing your opportunity to potential lenders, right? So once you're in the processing, that's when we as W2 Cap Capital will open title, start the title work. We're going to get an appraisal ordered. We're going to do a soft credit pull on you. And then we're going to start reviewing the required docs and the entity review of your organization that's doing the borrowing. I'm going to get into that just a little bit more here in just a minute. And also in processing, we're going to secure your lender. Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of all the high level stuff there. Then we get to the closing process, right? We're going to help title and make sure all the closing docs are prepared. We're going to make sure all parties are ready to close. We're going to confirm that the wire has been received by title, and then we're going to move you to what we call post closing workflow, where you as a borrower, we're going to coordinate with you as the borrower and the lender to make ACH payments directly, right? So we're not going to play the middleman, but we are going to coordinate that you pay them directly. All of these programs right now, as we're launching this, are monthly interest only payments, right? And then we're going to set payoff and maturity date reminders for everybody involved. And one of the things, I don't know that I didn't mention this earlier, but all three of our products right now, while they are meant to be 6 month maximum, we will give the option to buy extensions through some points. Okay. So that's kind of the overall timeline. How we protect our lenders, I want to make sure you guys understand this. We are only going to lend in first lien position scenarios. So if you have a second lien position opportunity, we're not your lender for that, or your broker for that. We're only going to work with known borrowers, right, who meet our underwriting requirements. And those basically come down to the 70% of ARV, making sure you have some down payment, making sure you've got some experience, especially when it comes to product number 3, right? We're going to utilize, and I kind of went over this, utilize loan to value ratios based on borrowers' experience to reduce potential losses and maximizing potential gains for our lenders. The third thing is we're only going to lend to entities, and then we're going to require you as a borrower to do a personal guarantee. So you have to have an LLC set up or some sort of entity structure that we can lend to. But then as a person, we're going to ask you to personally guarantee the promissory note, right? And number 4, we're only going to be lending in states that are quote unquote foreclosure friendly. And what does that actually mean? So that basically tells us the territory that we're going to be lending into. So if you are in any of these states that are mentioned here, you are good to go, right? We will definitely look at an opportunity for you. The difference between preferred states and optional states: the preferred states are states that myself and my co-founders, Gwaith and Cody, have actually borrowed in, lent in, or closed the deal in actually in any of those states. The optional states, again, are landlord friendly. So they actually, in selling your project to our lenders, we need to make sure they understand that we are on their side from a foreclosure standpoint. So that's kind of how we narrow down those states. Okay. Who qualifies to access W2 Cap Capital? Active members of the W2 Capitalist Mastermind. You have to be an active member. Networks of W2 Cap Capital ownership. And we're only going to, and I mentioned this earlier, we're only going to lend to known entities, right? We're not going to broadcast this out on social media or any other advertising and just get random people who just fill out a form. There has to be some sort of a relationship built there already. Okay. Which if you're watching this video, chances are you qualify. You're good to go. All right, guys. So here are the type of assets that we fund: 1 to 4 unit properties, commercial multifamily, burrs and flips, rentals, new construction. And even though in those programs that I mentioned earlier, they don't necessarily follow, like there's not a rental program in there. Most of those are geared toward flipping or burrs. We have connections with lenders who will do that, so we can help facilitate that for you. So basically what I'm trying to say is, while this is our main focus, because this is the majority of what the mastermind members are doing, I know there are people obviously who do mobile home parks, self-storage, any asset that you are looking to fund, new construction. Let us take a look at it, because potentially in our network, we're going to have somebody who's willing to lend on that. Okay. So one of the things that has come up recently is documents that we require for our lenders. So we want to paint a good enough picture for them to say, yes, I love this, the strength of this borrower. I love the deal. So here are the things that we're going to ask from you. Purchase contract, right? A detailed scope of work that really just pertains to fix and flip and burrs. A signed term sheet. We'll provide you the term sheet that you'll e-sign. Driver's license, your resume, track record, personal financial statement, a schedule of real estate owned, that's SREO, ACH payment authorization, voided check, spousal consent form for you guys who are married, and then your entity docs, like your creation, your organizational documents, your EIN, those kind of things that we're going to ask from you, so that we can paint the picture to the lender of, hey, this is a solid borrower, this is a solid asset. You know, let us know if you're interested. We're not going to ask for your W-2. We're not going to ask for tax forms. Think of, in this scenario, think of a DSCR loan, or what's commonly referred to as a no doc requirement loan, even though they're going to ask you for these docs. I don't know why they come up with that. But anyway, um, here's some additional documents that we're going to require that we're going to help facilitate for you at W2 Cap Capital. So one of the things we're going to ask you for is appraisal and your preferred title company for closing. Two reasons why we want to get that information from you is because we're not plugged into every market, and you know those folks, right? You know who you're going to use. The property appraisal person or company, one of the things that we're going to advise everybody is, these initial programs are going to be 6-month terms. You're planning an exit, right? You're going to be planning to refinance with maybe some traditional financing very quickly. So what we're advising folks to do is, when you come and you give us an appraiser contact information, make sure it's somebody that your bank is going to use. That way you can reduce your closing costs when you exit with us, right? We're also going to do a soft credit pull, and one of the things you'll provide us is insurance carrier info. We just want to make sure that when you close on the property, you've got insurance, and also that our lender is a named entity on that insurance policy. Okay. Um, Workflow we follow, kind of went through this a little earlier. One of the things I want to point out is we're partnering with Lendingwise on this. So when you go in and you start your quick application, you're going to see the Lendingwise, and I think it's on the full application as well. You'll see their banner, their logo, whatnot. But that's who we're using, and that's the back end software that we're using to do all of this whole process. Okay. Our team. So Cody, most of you guys know Cody. If not, here's a little bit about him and his contact information. Same thing with Gwaith. Most of you know Gwaith. If you don't, here's his contact information and his bio as well. And then, of course, my ugly mug. There it is. If you don't have my cell phone and my email address, there it is. Please reach out. Let's talk. All right. So here's your next step, right? I know I ran through that. You may have questions. Hit up any of us for questions you have. But your next step, right? The place you need to go is w2capcapital.com. You're going to see this landing site, and you're going to tap on the button to start quick application. One thing I love about this system is when you enter your information for the first time as a borrower, you're going to have a lot more information to do the first time. The second time you come in, it's going to recognize you as, oh, hey, you've been here before. We've got some information on you. Why don't we import what we can into your next loan? So you're not doing the entire process over and over again. Okay. But that's it, guys. You have any questions, please let me know, or Gwaith know, or Cody know, and let us know how we can help you on your next project.